Yesterday we started this quiz, and then today we will work on this quiz. Since this quiz is related to the radio button and we are on the radio button, that's why I took this project along with the radio button. Okay, so that's the reason I did it. I will add one more question now so that I can get few questions. Maybe I'll say who will win the T20 World Cup. Okay, so this is the question. Options are maybe Pakistan, maybe England, maybe Australia or South Africa. So generally this this is a guesswork in the one. So there is no right or wrong answer, but we will put some correct as per our guess. So this is not really the right answer. So maybe I can say Pakistan 0. I will name 0 as the correct option. Okay, so this is the future one, and we cannot put correct or wrong answer for that. But since this is a sample quiz, I am putting it. I also want to put the ID for each one. Maybe I'll say ABC 1, 2, 3 is ID for this one. Here is ID is XYZ 4, 5, 6. So generally IDs, whenever I store this question in database, I will get some ID. I want ID. The reason is tomorrow I can interchange. I can randomly select the question. So if we mark based on the index like 0, user has selected this option for the 0, and tomorrow we interchange the question, then it will become mismatch. And if we have ID, and then we will map what is the answer user selected for this ID, and that is the reason I need the ID. Okay, so we need ID to match which user has answered for which question, and that is the reason I am putting it MNO 888. I am just putting some random IDs. Okay, so actually this ID will come from database when we insert in the questions in the database. And if we don't have database, we will manually add all the ID in the questions. Okay, so now we have 3 questions. Okay, so let's take that one. So next, so I can see all 3 questions. Now I want to hide the next button if it is on the last page. So if we are on the last page, like 3rd number, I don't want to go further. So I want to hide the next button when I'm on the 3rd page, when I'm on the last page. So if we grow the questions, last page will change. So we need to define some logic to say that this is the last page and we don't want to show this button. And when I'm on the first page, I don't want to show the back button, because let's say I'm on the question number 1, I cannot go back of the question number 1. So I don't want to show the back button if I'm on the first page. So let's put some condition. So tell me what condition shall I put so that back button should not be visible at the first page. Can anyone tell me? First page means step is 0. So I want some logic here I can put so that I don't show back button when I'm on the first page. So who will give me the logic? Try thinking on it. If step is less than 0. Okay. And okay, so problem with this one is, I'll tell you. So to put condition whether this button will show or not, we have to start with the curly bracket, and then we have to put some condition. For example, the XYZ is a condition, or a step is a condition. I have not written the right condition right now to show you something. And then I will put 2 ampersand button two ampersand characters, and then I will put the button. So if this condition is true, then I show the back button, and if this condition is false, I don't show the back button. So what condition I should put so that back button is invisible? Let's say if I put step equal to 0, for example. So when the page is loaded, step is 0, and we show the back button. Okay, but when I go to the second page, I don't show the back button because step is 1. Okay, step is not 0, so we don't show the back button. Okay, so this is not the right condition because we are not showing on the second page the back button. The condition should be we should not show back button on the first page. So Ashok Kumar is returned if I put step is less than 0. Okay, so let's see if this condition will work or not. I refresh the page. So now I'm not able to see the back button, whereas step is 0, right? Step is 0. Let's see what is the step. Okay, so step is 0, I'm not able to see, but with the next also I'm not able to see. So with a step less than 0, I'm not able to see in any case. That means step is less than 0 is not the right one. Can anyone tell me what should I put the condition so that I should not show the back button? I should not show the back button on the first page. I want back button on all the pages except the first page. What should I put here so that I should not show back button on the first page and it should be visible on all the pages? So whenever I do, after some time when I give you time, you should also do this thing and check whether it's working for you. Because if you do after the class, then you may get so many problems and no one will be there to solve it. Then you will be stuck. So better you should do in front of me. But right now I want a condition. This condition is wrong. Anyone? I want condition. Now tell me, if step is 0, shall I show back button? Okay, answer me this question. If step equal to 0, shall I show back button? Yes or no? So step is 0 and I should not show the back button because it is the first page. Do not show the back button. Okay, so one imaginary condition. If step is less than 1, that is -1, shall I show the back button? -1 will not come, but let's assume it is coming by mistake. Somehow I am setting it to -1. Can I show back button? No, if step is -1, Ashok is saying yes, but we should not show because it goes into the back part and there is no question related to step equal to -1. Do not show the back button. We should not show at step equal to -1. Okay, tell me one thing. When step is 1, can I show the back button? Yes, we should show. When step is equal to 2, can I show the back button? Yes. So if you see that if step is greater than 0, that is 1 and 2. I'm not talking about 0. If step is greater than 0, then we are showing the back button. So the only condition we will put is if step is greater than 0, then only show the back button. So if it is equal or less, we don't show it. But since based on this one, we should only show the back button if step is greater than 0. Let's take this one. I am on the 0 page. I am not showing the back button. Next, I am showing back button. Next, I am showing the back button. Then again, I am on the question 1. I am not showing the back button. So based on this logic, we only show back button if step is greater than 0. Okay, so now you write down this part. I'll give you time 1 minute to put this condition. Make sure you should understand what I am showing it this here. This is how to put the condition in the JSX. We start with the curly bracket. We put the condition. It can be multiple conditions. If there are more than one condition, we can put ampersand again and put another condition. Whatever we want to put, we can put multiple and or conditions. And then in the last, we put double ampersand and we show the condition. We show the button. So make sure you write down it properly and test it on your browser if it is working. I am not clear on the show question. We added the ampersand, but no condition added. We should put this condition only, then ampersand has the value. I'm not sure what you are asking. Yes, we have to put the condition like the JavaScript. This is nothing but the JavaScript code. So we can add multiple condition with ampersand and or will be with the two pipeline. So these two you can use. You can also use not. Okay, so if you have completed this one, let's go to the next part. Tell me when the next button will be invisible. When we are on the first page or middle page or on the last page. when we are on the last page, then I don't want the next button. The reason is, let me open the page. When I go next and next, this is the third number question, and after that there is no question, so I should not show the next button. So when I am on the last page, I should not show the next button. So what condition shall I put so that I can know that I am on the last page? This is the question list. This is the step. Based on these two, you need to figure out the condition, which I should put it here. Okay, and I'll put here ampersand, and I will put the button inside it. Now you have to tell me, what should I put here? Step dot length. There's no step dot length. We have questions dot length. Okay, so step is directly number. You should not use step dot length. Step is numeric, so it does not have length. But questions have length. So what condition shall I put? Step is less than questions dot length. Then we should show it. Okay, Kate is saying step is less than questions dot length. Okay, let's see if this works. So I am on the first page. I am able to see the next page. Now concentrate on the next page. I am on the second question. Next page is displayed. I am on the last page. Then also next is coming. That means something is wrong in this one. What should I put here so that next page should be visible only in all pages except the last page? Right now with this condition, I am able to see the next button on the last page. I want answers from everyone. Think on it. Step equal to question dot length. So that will never happen, because if I put step equal to question dot length, that means step should go till number 3. This is 0, 1, 2. This is 1, 2, 3 elements are there. So length is 3, and step will never go to 3. Okay, question dot length equal to 0. If I put question dot length equal to 0, it will be displayed only on the first page, because after that, okay, question dot length equal to 0. That means when there is no question, then only it will be displayed. Right now we have 3 questions. Okay, step is less than questions dot length. Okay, so this one looks correct. Let's see. Step is less than questions dot length minus 1. So let's say question dot length is 3, minus 1 is 2. So step should be less than 2. Then only I will be able to see it. Okay, so total questions are 3. Okay, that means step should be less than 2. Right? If step is 2, that means we are on the last page. When step goes to 0 page, we are in the first page. When the step goes to the 1, we are on the second page. When a step goes to 2, we are on the third page. That is the last page. So a step should be less than 2. Okay, that means a step should be either this or this. If a step goes to the last page, we should not show the next button. So it should be step less than questions dot length minus 1. So I'm on the first page, I go to second page, I go to third page. Now I'm on the last page. I don't see the next button, I see back button. So now we are having perfect back and next. Okay, so write down this one, and if you don't understand this, I will explain it again. When I'm on the first page, step is 0. So I should be able to see the next button. Second page, step is 1. Still it is less than questions dot length minus 1. What is the questions dot length? It is 3. Minus 1 is 2. That means step should be less than 2. That means it should be either 1 or 0. And when I'm on the last page, that is when step is equal to 2, then I should not show the next button. So this is the right logic. Write on this one. And if you don't understand, I will explain it again. You have to ask me that you don't understand this thing. Explain it again. Okay, one more time. Okay. So before I go further, I will write down here step so that I can explain you in a better way. I am explaining you this again because someone requested me. So here I will put a step. What is the step? So that we can see what is the step. And I will also see what is the total length of the questions. So questions dot length. Okay, so let's go here. So we are on the first page when step is 0 and questions is 3. Can we show back button on the step 0? No, because step 0 means first page and we should not show back button when we are on the step 0. When I go next, step goes 1 and we are showing the back button. When I go next, step goes to the 2 and we are showing the back button because back button should not be shown when we are on the first page, that is when the step is 0. So I have put the condition, if step is greater than 0, then only show the back button, and if it is 0 or less than 0, don't show it. So this is the positive condition, that when it is greater than 0, then only show the button, back button. So when step will go to greater than 0, that is when it goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 100, 200, then only I will show the back button. I will not show the back button when I am on the 0 step or minus 1 step or minus 2, because minus 1, minus 2 is a non-existent. So we should check 0 or below. We should not show at that part. So we are not showing it if it is 0. If it is greater than 0, then only we are showing this part. Now let's talk about this next one. Okay, I will come to your point, Sonu Singh. Let me come to your point. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Next button should be visible on all the pages except the last page. So last page means when the step is 2. Last page, because questions are 3, last page means 1 less than that. If questions are 4, what will be the last page? It will be step equal to 3. So whenever we are on the last page, that means it is less than 1. Questions is 3. Less than 1, that is 2. Whenever step is questions dot length minus 1. When we are in this step, when we are on this step, then that means we are on the last page. Okay. So what is the last page? Last page means when we are on the question dot length minus 1. Is this clear? This part clear? When we are on the last page? When we are on the question dot length minus 1. That means when we are at the step 2, we are on the last page. I should show the next page on the last page? Can I show next button on the last page? No. Why? Because after that there is no page. So on the last page, I should not show the next button. And last page means when the questions dot length minus 1 is the last page. This is the last page. Last page is questions dot length minus 1. And in our example, we have 3 questions. That means questions dot length, that is 3 minus 1. is equal to 2. That means when we are on the page number 2, we should not show the next button. And if we are less than 2, that is 1 or 0, then only we should show the next button. So that means I will say step should be less than 2. That is the 2 is the last page. So step should be less than 2. Then only show the next button. If step goes to the 2, then that means we are on the last page and we should not show the next button. So right now step is 2. That means we are on the last page. So whenever we are on the 2 page or greater than 2 page, that means we are on the last page, or out of boundary, we should not show the next button. So it should be less than 2. So in reality, in our example, it should be step less than 2. So whenever we have step less than 2, we have step 0, we show next button. Step is 1, we show next button. So as soon as we reach the step 2, we don't show the next button because it is the last page. And what is the last page? When a step goes to 2, we are on the last page and we should not show the next button when we are on the last page. So dynamically it is question.length minus 1. Manually it is 2 because last page is 0, 1 and 2. According to the array, index is 2. So whenever we are at the 2, we should not show the next button. We should show next button when we are 1 or 0. So dynamically we will say it is questions.length minus 1. That is the last page, and we should not show when we are on the last page. We should show when step is less than last page. That means we are on the first page or second page. We will show it. Is it clear? Okay, now which end you are talking about? This end, Sonu Singh? You are asking this end? Okay, so whenever we have some condition, if that condition is true, we show this part. So this is the way to show the condition is true. If condition before this is true, we put ampersand and we put something in the bracket. So whenever this part is true, we show this part. And if this part is false, we don't show that is. So to do that in JavaScript, this is the one way to do that. Another way is, I will show you a couple of ways. So if I say 1 ampersand show, since 1 is true, I will show this part. See, I'm showing this part. If I say 0 ampersand show, so that means this 0 is falsy. That means I will not show the show. Okay, I'm showing 0, that is the falsy, because 0 means false. So we don't show this part. If I say 1 or show, what will be the answer? If I say 1 or, here I will write down. If I say 1 or show, what will it appear? 1 or show. Okay, if we put or, okay, let's talk about an ampersand first. If I put anything here which is true, and I put ampersand, then whatever I will put here will be displayed. Since this is true, whatever I will put after ampersand will be displayed, no matter what it can be. If the ultimate result of this is true, then we display this part. That is the meaning of this ampersand. So if I put true ampersand, blah 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 blah, I will show blah blah blah. I will not show true. I will show this blah blah blah. If the part before ampersand is true, we show this part. That is the JavaScript syntax. There is another thing. If I put true, I can put question mark also. That if it is true, show this, else show no. Since before question mark we have true, that's why I'm showing this. If this was false, then I would have shown no. This is another way. If I put false, then you will see I'm showing no. So if I put, this is called a ternary operator, I put true or false or whatever evaluation is true, then I show this part, and evaluation is false, I will show this part. But if we have only one thing, here we have two things to show, then we use ternary operator. But if I have only one thing to show, I will use ampersand ampersand. So if I have false, ampersand ampersand something, since we have the false, I will not show this part, I will show false. But if I have true and if I put something, then I will show something. But with the OR, the case is different. If I say true or false, so it will first check this part, true is coming, it will not go to this part, it will show true here. But if I say false or true, then also true is coming, because first it will go to false, it is false, okay, then go to next one, it is true, okay, true is there, I show true here. So with the OR, any one of them is true, I will show true, or with the false, if anyone is true, I will show true, otherwise I will show false. If I say false or false, it will show false, because we don't have anything true. In the React, we generally put this condition, and if this condition is true, we show this part, and that's why we put ampersand ampersand. Here also, if there's a condition, and if this condition becomes true, then I will show this part. Okay, is that clear? Okay, so we will be doing a lot of examples on this also. So if you will get more clear idea as we move further. Okay, now we are done with the questions. We are done with the options. No, we're not done with the options. We are done with the back and next button. Now let's put the options. Okay, let me remove this part. So options will come from these options. So here I will say something H3 options are, and here I will create a div tag. So here we have to loop the options. Okay. So you have to write in the chat, how will I loop these options? Right now I'm not talking about creating an input box, radio button. Just loop these options, because this is array. I want to loop the options here. How will you loop it? Maybe I can use UL tag. It is much better for this condition. And whenever I will loop, I will use li tag. And here I want to display the options like this. Okay, someone has pasted it. Let me put manually what I want to show. So I want to show something like this. So I'm putting hardcode value right now, but you have to show me how to do it programmatically. So I'm not putting right now radio button. I will put next. First, let me display the options. So right now you see options are Trump, Biden, Amitabh Bachchan, Indira Gandhi. So I have to choose any one of them. Therefore, that I will put radio button. But before that, how will I do dynamically this thing? So someone has written it. Let me see. Everybody try on your own. Maybe someone who has written it, maybe not the right one. Okay. So you are looping questions, step dot options dot map record index. Okay. So I will say here I will go to the particular question. To go to the particular question, we will use this part, questions dot step. Questions dot step is nothing but the which question I want to access it. And then I go to options. So for the options, yeah, Rakesh, for loop, you have to build the for loop. How will you build the for loop? Like Ashok Kumar has built something, I'm checking if it is right or wrong. You try to build your own. Maybe it is similar to Ashok, or it is different. You try your own. Okay, I will check everyone's answer and see who has done correct. Okay, so I will go to questions, tape dot options dot map, and then I will put. So what I'm doing, I'm going to the questions dot step. That means which question I want, and then I want to access the options. So I put dot options, and then since the options is array, I'm using dot map. Always use map in the React JSX one. Don't use for each or for loop. Always use the map, because here we have to display something, and map is the best thing to use it here. Map, and then I will put record. Maybe I can say option and index. Okay, so option will be this, and index is 0, 1, 2, 3, and then I will return. Now, you have to tell me. Okay, so let's return something right now. Okay, so though hello is not right, let's put something. Maybe ally tag. Okay, so I have to return ally because we have ally here, and inside ally we have to put option. Option will be nothing but this, or this. Okay, so I put the option, then I delete all this one. Now let me try this one. Okay, so I'm getting this correctly, but I'm getting this warning also. Who will tell me how to fix this warning? So this is correct. We go to the questions, then we go to the step, that is it is 0, we go here. If it is 1, we go here. If it is 2, we go here. And then we go to options. And after options, we loop through this array using the map. Okay, so Rakesh is saying putting the key. So it is correct. We are getting warning sign. To remove this warning sign, we should put the key here. And key can be anything. So right now I can say maybe I will take this ID and then I put 0, 1, 2, 3. Because if I put key as an index, then problem will be, let's say if I'm displaying two questions on the same page, so this one will also get 0 key, this one will also get 0 key. So that is not correct. We should try to make this key unique. Okay, so to make the unique, I will take this ID appended with this index. So I can say questions step dot ID plus index. So question step in ID will be this one plus 0, this one plus 1, this one plus 2, this one plus 3. For this case, it will be this one plus 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. Okay, so we have to take index also and some unique one which defines that question. So I'm putting that ID. Let's see now. So we are not getting any warning also. I'm able to display the options here. So everybody do this part, and then we will try to make the radio button for each option. So I want this part to be done. Write down this part in 1 minute. And if you don't understand anything in this, ask me. I know you will not remember everything. You have to just understand what I am trying to do it. To do it, remember it, to do yourself, you have to do this exercise 10 times. And then it will be easy for you to do it without looking. Okay, so is this part clear? Why I am using options? Because I am going to this options. To access this options, we go to questions, then we go to 0, 1 or 2 based on the step we are, and then we go to options of that one. Let's see if we are able to see other options. So when I go to second page, I see other options. When I go to third page, I see other options. Okay. So we have to display the options. Okay. Options are nothing but these options. This is the array. Now we have the questions. Let's console.log the questions. So what are the questions? Let's check it. So we have three questions, 0, 1 and 2, and we are at the step number 0. So that means we should show this line of the statement. So what I will do, I will go and put step here so that I should see the questions for this step, which that is on which page I am. So let's go here, and I'm in this page. That means I'm seeing these questions for the first page. Okay, so options are Trump, Biden, this and this. Now I have to go to this option, that is this options part. So to do the options part, this is the object. To go to the options, we will use dot notation and these options. Can I use this part like this? Can I use a rectangular bracket and put options like this? Yes or no? Rakesh is saying yes, Anshi is saying no. Since this I'm not putting in the quotation, that means this is a JavaScript variable and I haven't created any variable with the name of options. So this will fail. See, it is saying options is not defined. When I don't put in quotation, it means it is a variable and we have not that variable defined anywhere in this page. But if I put in the quotation or double quotation, will this work? Will this work if I put in the single quotation or double quotation? Sonu Singh is saying no. Who else is saying no or yes? Anshi is saying no. Let me see answers from other guests. Only Sonu has Anshi replied. No one else. I'm not talking about error not now. I'm saying if I put options here like this, will this work or it will not work? Whether I will be able to access these options or no. If I put like this, will it work? So the answer is it will work because this is the object. To access the object, I can put each key in the single quote or double quotes. Okay, so that this will work. If I refresh, it is working. But if I put only options inside the rectangular bracket, then it means it is trying to access the variable options and there is no variable options anywhere above it. So this will not work, it will give error. But if I remove the rectangular bracket, I can use the dot notation and I can use dot options here without rectangular bracket. Now will this work? Yes or no? Yes. because this is the object. To access the property, I can use directly dot notation and the options. So here we are accessing the options inside this object. But if I would have put it in the rectangular bracket, then it would have tried to access this as a variable, separate variable, not this one. So either put dot options or put it in the double quotes or single quote like this. Dot operation is okay. So let's see what is coming here as options. So we are getting all the options. Now we took this part and put it here. And since this is the array, we can use the map to go through each element of the array. And with each element, I constructed the li tag and put the option, that is whatever option we have inside it. Forget about key. Key is something which should be unique. So I took the question ID and 0, 1, 2, 3 to make the key unique. Anyhow, you have to make the unique key. You can put anything, but it should be unique. Okay, so forget about key right now. You can make unique key as you want. And we put option here to display this option. Okay. So is it clear or is it still difficult to understand? Okay, so we got this array and we are looping through the array. If your basics is not good, I explained this map already many times, but if you think your basics is not clear or you missed that session, you can ask me anything in this one which you don't understand. Okay, so we can use map on the array and we can return something which is different from we get it here. What we are returning? A li tag. What we are inputting? Trump, Biden, this, and this. And we are modifying it and we are returning something different. Map does same thing. Map wants to try to convert the array into something different. What we are doing it here. We are converting from simple string to li tag and we are putting the option here. Okay, so hope it is clear. If it is not, then you can ask me again. Tomorrow also we will continue this. This will not be done by today, so you can think of the questions and ask me tomorrow. Now we have to put input box beside Trump, Biden and Amitabh Bachchan, Indira Gandhi so that user can choose that radio button. So best is we can put that radio button before this option. Okay, so I will put input type equal to radio and I use a closing tag. So not what I am doing, I am putting the radio button and I am putting the option to choose from. So this is the radio button for each one. Right now I have not given the name and that is the reason I can check all the radio button. So whenever you have the radio button, you should give the unique name to each one. So I have to give the name. What should I give the name? Can anyone tell me? It should be unique to that question, not unique to that option. It should be unique to that question. What should I put name here? ID, Anshi is saying ID. What? Any other idea? Okay, so One is saying ID step. We can add. Okay, so step is, we can also put a step, something like we can say radio underscore step. Okay, underscore. We can take dynamically the step value. I will show you how to take that dynamically later. Yeah, so step is unique. We can use a step. But you know, in this quiz, I am putting one question per page. So when I go to second page, there is one question. But tomorrow the requirement comes that two questions should be on one page. Then in two questions the step will be repeated. So step is not the right one, though you can take in this example because this is unique. We have only one question per page. Okay, but sometimes uh, person manager will come say you want two questions, then step will fail. So the best thing is to use the ID. So we will put step is not unique for question, step is unique for page. Tomorrow you can add more than one question in one page. Then step will be 0, but there will be two questions. So the step is not unique to the unique to the this one. Okay, though we are taking this step here. Okay, so then yeah, you're true. You're correct. That right now, because of we are taking the step here, and so step can be taken. Yeah, it's true. Step can be taken because since we are using step here, we are using step here. That means if we want to move to two questions per page, then we have to change this part also. We have to change this part also, and so that make the change in overall coding. Okay, so right, step is the right thing. We can take step also based on our current project. Okay, so the real thing is, you know, when we want to change to two questions per page, actually I have to change this part. Okay, right now I have made this program so that only one question can be displayed per page. Okay, so name can be step also. I can put a step also. Let's check that one. So I can choose one. I can choose one. Yeah, step is working fine. Okay. So a step will work fine, but I will take ID and I will convert my whole program so that it can support two questions also. I should not rely on the step to display the questions. Okay, we will do that modification after some time. Right now, I am taking the ID, but each ID is also dependent on the step, which is actually not the, which is correct for this project because we are displaying only one question per page. But tomorrow, if we want to change two questions per page, then this will fail. Okay, so we will fix that one. Okay, good point. So we can take step also. Right now we can take ID also, but we need to change that so that tomorrow I can also accommodate two questions per page or five questions per page. That also I can do. So we'll do that modifications soon. Maybe after we are done with this one questions, I will do that modification. Okay, so that's correct. Okay. Or we can keep the one question per page in this project, and we will do another project where we can do multiple questions in a page. That will become little complex. The project will become little complex. So I will take that after few days. Okay. So you can put step also. You can put ID also. In this case, both will work. Ashok Kumar has pointed the right point. Step is unique for each question. That's correct. For this project, it is correct. Okay. Now, when user will select this or this, I have to save this in the state variable. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to save that in the state variable. And when will I do it? I will do it, I can do immediately when user will change, or I can do it when user will click next button. Okay, we both are the options. Right now, I will do when user will change here, I will save at that time. Okay, so I will say on change, and on change, I will see what is the value coming. Okay, let's check what will happen when I call on change. Okay, so in radio button, you remember we always have to give the value, otherwise it will not work properly. So I have to put value in the checkbox. Value is optional, but in the radio button we have to put the value. Now what will be the value? Can anyone tell me? So that I can save that value. Whether I should save Trump, or whether I should save 0, 1, 2, 3, or I should save Trump, Biden, this or this. What should I save? What? I want Trump or 0. If Trump is the right answer, or if Biden is right answer, whether I should say Biden or I should say 1 in the memory, in the state variable. There is no option dot value. You mean Trump? You mean Trump or Biden? Like that? Rakesh, I'm asking you. You want to say Biden when user will click the right answer? You want to say Biden or 1? Okay. Since the correct is numeric, one part, so saving should be, value should be saved as 0, 1, 2, or 3, not like Trump, Biden, this or this, because sometimes this may have some extra characters, non-English characters, and then you will match with the correct one, then it will be little difficult. You have to do lot of other functions to make it work. So it is better, whatever correct value is there, you should also save the option that way. So the value should be nothing but index, this index. Okay, so now we will see what happens. When I click Trump, I select 0. Biden, I select 1. Since user has selected Biden, which is 1, and the correct option is 1, so we can easily say this is the correct answer. And that is the reason we should save 0, 1, 2, or 3 rather than saving exact value. Okay. So now I have to create the state variable where I will save this value. So let's create the state variable. I will say maybe form values here and set form values equal to. Now remember, I have to save each answer based on this ID. So we have to save each answer based on the ID. Okay, so what should be the default one? Whether I should create default array or string or object or numeric. What is the right way? And we have to save all the questions under this form values. What is the right to save it as object or array or numeric or string? What should be the default value? No, I'm not talking of ID. What should be the default? Whether it's a 0 or whether I should create array or I should create object as a default. I should create string. I'm not talking about ID, though I will be saving ID and the user option, user value. Okay, so I can select array also, but then what will happen for the first question, I can save here as 1 as the option user has chosen. For the second question, for example, I can put in this array as a 2, and for the third question, I can put here as a 0. So this is the one way. This is the one way to save the information. Okay, I can put array, and for the first question, I can put the answer here as this one. For the second question, I will put answer here, and for the third question, I will put the answer here. But then when I have to manipulate it, I have to manipulate in the array, and sometimes my questions get randomly changed. I can put this as the first question, this as the second question. Then we have to change this part also. So better than array is we should have the object, and we will put the key of the object as the ID, and whatever user has selected, that will be the option here. That way we can update it easily, and we can tie it to particular question whatever user has answered it. So initially I will make it as object. I only want you to use the brain, but what is the right I will show you here. So I will use a object as a default data type for this form values. Okay, so whenever user will answer the first question, I will create the key, this one, and then I will put the value which user has chosen. Let's say user has chosen 0. So I will put key here, and the answer will be 0. And for the second case, whenever user has answered this second question, I will create key like this, and whatever user has chosen. For example, user has chosen 1. When user will answer third question, I will put the key here, and whatever user has chosen. Maybe user has chosen 3 number, this one. Okay, and then when I have to give the results to the user, I can go to the first question and I will see what is the correct. Correct is 1, and then I will say, okay, user has chosen 0, and this is 1, so this is incorrect. And for this, I will say this is incorrect, and for this it is incorrect. So it is also easily I can calculate the results also without too much putting the logic on it. Okay, so best is we should create the object. Okay, so this one is the default object. Okay, now I will put this one. Okay, so now I will not do more today. We will continue this tomorrow. Just create this line of the code and just put this input box. Other part you have already completed. So just create this line of the code and create this UL tag if you have not done it. So I'll give you 2 minutes to finish that, and then we'll stop the class. We will finish this procedure tomorrow.